Hello again, and welcome to the second video in this series. In this video, I will show how to create a new transformation rule, how to assign it to data types, and then share some information about the export process when data transformation is applied. Let's begin by first creating the new transformation rule. From the main Gold Client screen, select the Transformation Setup function. On the next screen, select the Create Rule button. Then, input an ID and description accordingly. Select the new rule and the Add Table button. Then, select the table and the Add Field button. In the window which appears, select one or more fields accordingly. I'm going to select the Name 1, Postcode 1, Street, and Tel Number fields. For the Name 1 field, I'm using the default rule type blank, which means that no other configuration details are required. Double-clicking the Postcode 1 field allows me to update the transformation type from blank to random number, and then add the configuration details. In this case, I'm going to input a low value of 10,000, a high value of 19999, and a step value of 1. So that way each number within this range is considered. Double-clicking the Street field, I'm going to update the transformation type from blank to list, and then search for and apply the list named Street. Finally, selecting the Tel Number field, I'm going to set it to type Fixed, and then define this value to be all 8s. Now, you might have noticed that I included the dashes because that is how I want the data to look after it has been transformed. So that is up to the user to apply these details. At this point, additional tables and/or fields could be added to this new rule. But to keep things somewhat simple, I'm going to stop here, and we will now assign data types to this transformation rule. To make this assignment, select the Default Rules button located on the toolbar. On the next screen, there are two buttons located on the toolbar. One is named Data Echo and the other Client Construct. Selecting them is how the user can toggle between these two areas. Notice that the default view is for Data Echo. Convert the screen to edit mode and select the Insert Row button. Input the data type and assign transformation rule accordingly. In this example, I'm adding data type CA, Central Address Management, and the new rule ID which I created previously. I will save my changes and then select the Client Construct button. On this screen, I can input the Client Construct data type named Central Address Master, assign it to the same transformation rule, and save my changes. Having data types with rules assigned informs the Qlik Gold Client Export program to apply data transformation whenever these data types are included in the export. This is true even when these data types are included because of a dependency. This screen provides an example where the top-level data type is Purchasing Documents, and we can see that there is a dependency to the related vendor master, and from that data type there is a dependency to this address data type. In this example then, a PO could be exported, and the expectation is that the related address data would be transformed per whatever configuration was defined. Let's now discuss exports where data transformation is applied. With respect to performing data copies, it is important to understand that there is no change in the process. Users will simply export and import data as normal, and data transformation will occur automatically for those data types which have rules assigned. Be aware that the Data Snap, Export Control, and Client Exporter screens all have a button named Data Transform located on the toolbar. When selected, a new window appears showing the relevant data type and the transformation rule assigned to it. Based on the configuration deployed earlier in this video, we can see that CA Central Address Management has rule Z001 assigned as expected. One use case for selecting this button is to simply confirm that transformation config exists prior to initiating the data export. But the more likely use case is to apply a different transformation rule or to run the export without transformation. In that sense, providing access to the Data Transform button should be limited to only specific users who are permitted this important exception. Be advised that the job log includes details about which data types and transformation rules were applied to the export. This content is located only in the initial or parent job and is located near the top of the log as this slide shows. The final item I want to share is that users can check whether data was transformed without having to import the data. This can be done by using the sizing report and selecting the respective files to display the data. This slide shows the ADRC record from an export using the same transformation rule which I created earlier in this video. Comparing the values from this file to the real data stored in the ADRC table, we can see that the values have been transformed successfully. We have reached the end of this video, and I hope watching it was a valuable use of your time. See you in the next video where I will provide details about transformation use cases, best practices, security, and additional resources.